Hi, my name is Andrea and I'm a voice and guitar instructor at Allegro. And in this video, I'd like to talk to you about tuning your guitar at home and the easiest ways to approach it if you're not sure how to tune your guitar at home. Tuning the guitar at first can be a really grueling thing to do if you don't know what you're doing. But the more you do it and the more you understand it, the easier it becomes, and it's so much more fun to play in tune than it is out of tune. All right, so let's get rolling. The first thing you have to understand about tuning is the name of your strings. You're not going to know what note to turn them to or tune them to if you're uncertain of what your strings are called. So let's go over that really quickly. We've got our low E string, this thickest string, you can feel it, it's the thickest, E, then our second thickest string, A, and you can write these down if you need, third thickest, D, then we've got G, and then we've got B, and then we've got E again. So there's two E's, high E, low E. Now the thing about getting to know these is sometimes you can come up with helpful phrases that help you remember these strings in order. One I learned when I was 12 years old. It's a little dark and I never forgot it, but it's Eddie ate dynamite, goodbye Eddie. Classic, it really sticks with you. If you'd like something a little more fun than that, a little lighter, eat apples daily, grow big ears. Whatever you need, you can even come up with your own, but whatever will help you remember the name of these strings. Once you've got them, we're going to talk about the best tuner to start with. You might at home have a clip-on tuner that looks like this, or you might have a microphone tuner, which is like a little box that you play the guitar into. And those are great, especially once you understand how to tune. But before you understand how to tune, you might want to start with an app. I really love tuning apps because they have visuals, they have the headstock, they have the tuning pegs, they tell you the name of the strings and what they should be. So that is super helpful when you're starting out with tuning. So let's go over how these apps work and how you can tune using them at home. Now that you know the name of your strings, let's go ahead, and you might not be able to do this with me right during this video, but what you can do is you can download one on your iPad or your phone. Some of my favorite are Guitar Tuna, that's a classic, and there's also Fender Tune. I think the easiest, most user-friendly is that Guitar Tuna. So if you download that, it's free. You can start to explore how to tune with that app. So once you have it downloaded, you can pause this video, come back. Once you have it, you're gonna open it up. It's gonna ask to get access to your microphone. You want to allow it access to your microphone because you want it to hear your guitar to tell you if it's in tune. Then it's going to ask what instrument you're playing, and it'll show you different headstocks. So if you're playing an electric guitar and it looks like one of those guitars back there, then you want to choose the headstock that looks like yours. If you're playing a ukulele or you're playing a bass, you want to choose that headstock for you and your instrument. Okay, and once you've got that, then we can dive into how to use the app. So you open it up, and this one looks just like my guitar head here, and it's already picking up my voice. You can see that it's trying to pick up my voice and tune it. Well, let's start with our low E, and it shows you which one your low E is. So I'm going to put my tuner right here on this piano and get started. Okay, so let's play our low E. Okay, it gave me a little ding. It picked up the note, it felt the wave, and then it said, you're in tune. Good job. Now, if I wasn't in tune, say I was way below the note, it would go into the red. It would say, hey, you're not anywhere near. So you might have to follow that string all the way to the tuning peg that is connected to it right here. And I like to think on this side of the neck, I like to think of a hot air balloon, up and away. So if it's too low and I want it to go up, I turn it away from me. And if you end up turning it the wrong way and it keeps going down, then just turn it back the other way. Yay, I made it back there. Excellent. Okay, so next we are going to try our A string. And you'll see, it will tell you, yep, you're playing your A string. You can tune and refine it. You kind of want to be in a quiet room for this activity for tuning, because if you're not, obviously this microphone is going to pick up the TV or other things, and it can be very frustrating. You want to be in a room where only thing that's happening is the tuning of your guitar. There's our D string. Excellent. Now, the last thing I want to talk about with this headstock, if you have a headstock like mine and you're playing an acoustic guitar where there's tuners on this side and tuners on this side, that up and away doesn't work anymore for this side. You'll notice these strings go this way. So if you go to your G string and say that G string was too low, like our D string was. Okay, it's telling me it's in the red, it's too low. Instead of turning it away from you, you're going to turn it the opposite. You're going to turn it towards you. And you'll start to get familiar with your strings. So if the headstock has the tuning pegs on either side, that these go one way, these go the other, but you can play with it a little bit. You don't want to play with it so much that it keeps getting higher, 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 and tighter, and it feels like there's a lot of tension because you might break a string. But you could turn it one way or the other and see what your tuner says and start to get comfortable with which way brings it up, which way brings it down. The last thing I want to talk about is if you're playing an electric guitar that is a Fender, like my Jazzmaster up there or my Telly, that one is going to have the tuning pegs all on one side, which kind of makes it nice and easy because they all go the same way. And then you can just follow the strings to each tuning peg and see which peg turns what, and then they're all going to go away from you to go up and away. Now, if you play an electric guitar like a Gretsch, like that one back there, it's going to look more like this acoustic head, and you're going to want to know that they go opposite ways. But this should really help you get started to get the guitar in tune. I'll do the last couple strings here. There we go. And then my high E. Great. And it gives me that ding every time I'm right on. And you can even see the wave in this guitar tune and how far off it is and where you want to go. So that can be super helpful to have this visual to start out. Once you're comfortable with your string names and you're comfortable with tuning with an app, then you can go back to your clip-on or your microphone tuner because you know what the strings are supposed to be. You know how to turn them. You know which note you're trying to play because that visual from the app. So that's really nice and helpful to start with the app and then move to another tuner. Also, if your guitar is so far out of tune, an app can't help you, a clip-on tuner can't help you, it is so out of whack it can't even identify what the notes are. Well, you can sometimes use a piano if you need to try to get it close by ear. That can be hard if you've never played piano or don't have a piano, or you can get a keyboard app. But if you decide to do that to get as close as you can and you do play piano, you can, or understand a piano a little bit, you can head to middle C here and then go to the E before it, down below, right here, and that's going to be your low E. There's your low E, and tuner says it's good. And then if you want to head up to the next A, because that's your next string, then you can head up to the A. There you go, and get it as close as you can to that sound. Same with the next string. You've got your D. You head up to the next one. Thanks, tuner. And then the last couple, G, you head up to the next G. So you get the picture. Then by the time you're to your high E, there you go, there's your high E string. So you can use the piano if you don't have a piano and your guitar is so out of whack and it's very frustrating. Sometimes it's worth it to take it to a shop, a Guitar Center or a Rainbow Music or somebody local in your area to take a look, make sure all the pegs actually have tension, because some of the kids' guitars, the cheaper, smaller guitars don't even like to have the right tension to get the high E as high as it needs to go. So you might have to have somebody get it in the general area for you, and then you can get it back there on your own. And the more you do that, the more comfortable you will be with, even if it's way far out of tune, getting close to it. But sometimes you might need a little help to get there, and that's okay. So get it as close as you can, start to get familiar with tuning, get your app, get settled into using the app first, then you can go to your other tuners. But don't get overwhelmed. Tuning starts to become really easy the more you do it, and then it's so much more fun to have a guitar that's in tune than have one that's out. So enjoy.